Hi, my name's Joshua Todd. I'm with the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke at the NIH in Bethesda, Maryland. So to date, the NIH has conducted around 7 genetic therapy trials at the NIH Clinical Center. And based on a survey of the 27 institutes and centers, we project at least 40 to launch over the next 10 years. So there's likely to be a significant increase in demand for clinical trial support services for these studies at the NIH. The projected growth of AAV gene therapy trials at the NIH mirrors the broader field, but as it's part of our public health mission, the NIH's focus is really on rare diseases and neglected diseases where there's limited opportunity for commercialization. So some of the goals of the proposed infrastructure, or the Core for Advanced Genetic Therapies, or CAGT, is to standardize some of the way that these protocols are developed from an operational standpoint, from a trial design standpoint, and also from a standpoint of long-term follow-up of safety. So for example, if we have 10 studies that are launching that are AAV, that all require 5 years of long-term follow-up per FDA guidance, it would be wonderful to have a master protocol for centralized follow-up of these patients with a singular safety database that provides a better overview for the sponsor and provides better insights into potential class-related effects or serotype-specific related effects. So the proposed organizational structure is still under development, but it will likely feature specific work streams in clinical operations, technical operations, medical affairs, and regulatory affairs. The goal being to really develop a subject matter expertise that's sustainable and long-term within the NIH intramural program on genetic therapies. And since the majority of therapies which are getting into the clinic are AAV, this will likely be the first focus. Yeah, so I think there's great opportunities within the NIH for sort of critical peer review of studies before they enter the clinic. So for example, within the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke, we have a dedicated clinical trials unit, and we have a protocol development meeting process that's required before a study even goes to scientific review. So there's a multi-step process, if you will, to try and prevent some of the common issues that folks run into running these studies. What's been very clear from the AAV gene therapy trials that have launched at the NIH to date is the importance of cross-sector collaboration, so between government, industry, and not-for-profit entities, as well as academia. And in particular, I'd like to emphasize the incredible role of patient advocacy groups in advancing candidate gene therapies toward the clinic. In many cases, the patient advocacy groups have taken the first step in fundraising to get a candidate gene therapy through IND-enabling studies, so it's in a position where it can be tested in humans at the NIH. An important role for the NIH is likely to be in de-risking early development of AAV gene therapies through conducting phase 1, phase 2 trials such that they may be more appealing to industry partners for further commercialization. Yes, under the open IND model, a product is not being commercialized, so there would be a need to fund continued manufacturing. And that is one of the benefits of working at the NIH Clinical Center, is that each institute gets access to the hospital. So generally, it is more economically viable than conducting this type of very complex and involved study at an outside institution. There is certainly interest within the NIH intramural program for establishing a form of consortia or collaborative network with other institutions who have similar philanthropic or public health missions, so that we can better advance these types of therapies more broadly across the US.